In this video, we're going to go over personal branding. This is something here that you can do to really be able to set yourself apart from the competition, right? Because there's a lot of people out there who have a resume, who have the experience. However, the big thing that they're missing is the personal branding element. And this is where you're going to be able to set yourself apart from the competition, because you're not only going to have a really well laid out resume and have that experience behind you, but you're going to be able to have that personal branding element and factor to really set yourself apart in the competition between you landing a job or even landing a particular project if you're starting out with freelancing or whatever that may be. But personal branding is going to help you position yourself as the go-to expert in your field. So let's go ahead and jump into personal branding. Okay, so what exactly is a brand, first and foremost, right? A brand is the way a company, organization, or individual is perceived by those who experience it. So it's essentially how somebody perceives you. It's that perception that you build, right? And so we want to be able to build a perception of ourselves that we are somebody who is not just your average candidate. We are somebody who thinks outside the box. We're somebody who is unique, who is talented, who's multifaceted, right? Who has all these different things going for them. And we're not just a name and experience, right, on a resume. And so personal branding, this is where you are the brand, right? You as an individual. And so it's your online persona. It could be through LinkedIn, through your website, through your blog, through Twitter, or any other relevant online platform. And essentially how you are positioning yourself, the content that you're putting out there, the material, right? How you're positioning yourself as the go-to expert in your field. And all of this can be done very quickly, very easily, all through social media. And we're going to walk through how you can do that here in this lesson. And so it essentially allows the outside world to directly perceive your skills, personality, and experiences through the online digital type of media, right? So very important there to understand you're really putting on a show, you're putting on a persona, which is telling the world, hey, I'm an expert in my field. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. I'm extremely valuable, and I would make a great fit or be a good fit for any organization out there. And then the active personal branding is putting yourself in a strategic position to broadcast the value that you bring as an expert Excel user, right? I just mentioned that. It's pretty much you positioning yourself as that go-to expert in your field and broadcasting that to the world, right? So whenever somebody's landing on your Facebook page, on your Twitter page, on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn, which LinkedIn should probably be your #1 platform, but you should be positioning yourself all the time as, hey, I'm the expert, I'm the go-to, person in my field, and this is why. And we're going to show you here in a moment how you can either put together your own content or be able to get content out there that is related to your field and be able to post that on your social media profiles to position yourself and broadcast to the world that you are an Excel expert. Okay, so what you can do here to really position yourself as that go-to expert is having a social media presence, right? Obviously, you want to have a website. We're going to walk through that in another lesson as well. But having a social media presence is really going to make you create that perception that you are somebody who isn't just an expert, but you are someone who doesn't just have a resume with experience. You have a lot more that's to you, right? And then at a minimum, you should have profiles on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And you don't have to post every day on, your profiles here as far as different content. However, maybe posting, once a week, couple times a week, right? Just really showing the world and, your subscribers and your followers that you know what you're doing, right? That you know what you're talking about. You have the expertise, you have the credibility. And if you don't want to go through all of that, what you can do as far as, creating your own content is you can go out there and get a service through Buffer and Q and spend about $20, $30 a month and be able to automate posts on your social media. So let's say you sign up with Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, right? And you are on there, you're active, you're maybe making some posts here and there, and you're creating all this content, from scratch. Well, what you can do is go to Buffer, connect all of your social medias to it, right? And then what that tool does is it automatically posts all of your different content to your profiles at any given time. So you're able to schedule out posts weeks, months in advance. And so what you're able to do with Q is Q allows you to go out there and find content that's already been created, all different sources of online, and you're able to find the ones that make the most sense for your background, for your expertise, right? So if you're looking for, content and information on Excel, on how to be able to visualize data, or information on data analysis or business analysis, things like that, where they're going to be related to your field, right? And you're able to post these automatically on your buffer, right? And so what ends up happening is you find this content on Q, you program it and you automate it through buffer so that it's scheduled out for weeks, months in advance. However many times you choose to post per week, it's posting automatically to your profiles, and it's showing the world that, hey, you know what you're talking about. I mean, this is something that I used previously when I was really heavy going into client acquisition. I was, using LinkedIn a lot for a lot of my social media posting, a lot of articles that I would be sharing. And this wasn't information that I was putting together. It was just articles that I was sourcing, and I was posting them on my LinkedIn profile to my audience. And I would have people contact me and say, hey, Juan, I'm interested in what you have going on. It looks like you know what you're talking about. I can tell you know what you're talking about because you're obviously posting valuable information. And so never underestimate that, the ability to be able to position yourself through social media, through personal branding, and be able to position yourself right as that go-to expert in your field, and be able to ultimately set yourself apart from the competition. So that's going to be here for this one, and we'll see you on the next one.